One of the premier sporting events of each year in the city of Mission Viejo is the OC Triathlon. Today on Coach's Corner, we once again feature this very exciting race. If you are at all considering the sport of triathlon, wait no longer and get involved now. Learn firsthand what it takes to compete, plus hear from both the male and female winners. This is Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and all the action starts right now. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins. As you can tell, we do have a fantastic show here. The site, Lake Mission Viejo for the OC Triathlon. It's been a fabulous event, and as you can tell in the opening of the show, thousands of racers have come out to the city of Mission Viejo once again to participate in what is a Chamber of Commerce picture-perfect day. Once again, I'm Paul Higgins, and welcome to the OC Triathlon. Joining me on this first segment is a newbie to our area here in Mission Viejo, and it is, of course, Scott Davis, the race director of the OC Tri Series. He's a fantastic athlete. We'll get into that. And of course, we have a familiar face from the city of Mission Viejo who supports this race wholeheartedly, and that is the mayor of Mission Viejo, Trish Kelly. So welcome both of you to Coach's Corner, and I appreciate you guys coming out. I know that you've been running around wearing about 40 different hats this morning because I've been watching you since about 5:30 this morning. So you've been doing great. And Trish, you showed up, you look great. Welcome back to the Lake Mission Viejo. First and foremost, how do you feel right now about everything that's happened so far? I mean, this is a fantastic event. We've had some great finishes, but are you settling in? You're going to relax with me for a minute?
I think I have a couple minutes to settle in and relax with you, but you know, the biggest thing is the safety and the customer value and the relationships that we build with these people. You meet them everywhere. Just to hear people say, you know, great job, or thanks for this, or it's just been a wonderful experience. I mean, there's always a lot of nerves because you're afraid of everything. But now that they're all coming in, there's a lot of smiling faces, a lot of happy families. It's a beautiful day. They couldn't ask for better weather. Her tremendous support. We're just really happy to be involved in this community.
Trish, I know you guys were just actually thanking each other before the show started, and I know there's camaraderie there. Your thoughts about an event like this getting bigger and better in the city of Mission Viejo? You're a big ambassador for it.
I am, and I'm really pleased to see it continue and to go on year after year. This is the 7th year, and I, as Bill Leach and I were just talking, he said, you really stuck your neck out for us in 2008. And because I did promote bringing the triathlon back to Mission Viejo in a different form, the OC Triathlon. But we love athletics in the city, recreation, and of course our beautiful lake. So it really is win-win for the city. Hosting an event like this, having this many people come to our city, we really appreciate you providing this event and bringing such a good turnout.
This has been an amazing turnout, and this morning we had the early morning fog, and it was just kind of a beautiful setting. When the swimmers went into the water, you could see the steam coming up off the Lake Mission Viejo, and then the sun came out on the bike, and what an amazing race it has been. Your thoughts about you enter a race? You've been involved in triathlons for 30 years. You're getting ready to do the Kona Ironman, and you said that you finished 7th and 10th, so congratulations on that. That's quite an achievement. But how is this different for you being a race director?
I think the biggest thing is being around for 30 years and I've raced in 34 countries. You know, a lot of times, you know, as you become seasoned, you have a different opinion, and getting ready to go to Kona is a different venue. The greatest reason of why we picked this venue is it is literally grassroots. I was in transition yesterday, helping people, explaining how to set up your shoes and put a bike on a rack, and it really brought me back down, and it does bring me back down to really what it is about people getting off the couch and accomplishing goals that they had never done since they were kids. You have adults who are now either re-entering or entering sports for the first time to be healthy, to be active, and to watch it in the exhilaration of newbies and beginners and people at a community level. It's just a fantastic feeling. It's like when we have a tri-kids camp and races, and it's like a lot of cases like watching 5 and 12-year-olds. They're just so exhilarated and happy to make this accomplishment, and it brings a large amount of self-respect pride, things that they can share with their friends and family, Facebook, people congratulate you. I just think all around it's just so positive for people and for the environment, because they see other people and other people get inspired by them. And that happens at this level.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Trish, we were talking about it with Robert from the city of Mission Viejo, Robert Schick, and about, you know, the Olympics almost 30 years ago, you know, right up here, this is Olympiad, and you're a big push for that, a big anniversary for that. Can you tell us a little insight, because the bikers are crossing that as they come in and out?
It is so perfect to pull the history in. We are celebrating this summer the 30th anniversary of the Bicycle Olympics, and we do have a finish line up there on the street. We will be having a ceremony and a celebration on that for this year, so it just really reinforces the value of the triathlon, of the sport of bicycling, and all the swimming and running as well, but especially the focus on the bicycling this year I thought was really instrumental in helping us to promote our 30th anniversary of the Olympics.
It's going to be fantastic. And when you get a group like this, when Scott comes in, of course we have to mention Bob Kyler and Bill Leach, who now you've taken over this race. And
great men, they've done a great job, and they've handed us off an excellent race. They're great people to work with.
And Bill's here today, and Bob's here floating around. So
I'm the new Bill.
Yeah, you're the new Bill. And I noticed that because you were out there, you know, everything but a sledgehammer you had out there working on this.
That was the other day.
That was the other day. I wanted to make mention that after they started the elite races and the age group races, what Scott did is they have right over my right shoulder, they had the kids come out, and they had a group of 3 that jumped off this dock right out here, and they did a swim and a run portion, and then the other older kids, older groups, they came off the sand and into the water. But tell me about the kids series in that sense. It's important to get these young boys and girls interested in triathlons right now.
Absolutely. Not just from our perspective, and I kind of go on a side note, like me and my wife run a thing called Tri Kids 1, 2, 3, and we'll process about 500 kids through the system. You know, and we've had now 4 kids. We had a kid qualify that came through the system that just qualified for his first Kona yesterday in Hawaii. We have a kid that actually went over to cycling, and he's on our U.S. national like 17-18 cycling team. And so just the developmental aspect of being able to push this through the system into collegiate sports, you know, maybe into profession, is just phenomenal. And that's, you know, one of the things we're going to bring in is we're talking to the lake about in the fall and the spring, bringing splash and dashes, which will be swim runs right here, self-contained here, and just to really kind of bring in the club teams and the kids and get them really kind of swim, bike, run, active, whatever it is in competition, and that's just phenomenal. It's so great to watch the kids.
You know, Trish, you said before we started the show, we could talk all day about this. We can. We allocated about 7 minutes for this segment, so we're going over that a little bit. But if you can say some parting words about the importance of Mission Viejo backing the idea of exercising in our community. Can you talk about that just briefly?
Yes, I brought a HEAL ordinance to our city a few years ago, and that stands for Healthy Eating, Active Living. So the whole city has supported this HEAL resolution, and it's very, very important that we all ages are active. We want to fight childhood obesity, and we want to have our residents stay fit and healthy, and it is events like this, training, preparing for them, and enjoying our beautiful facilities that helps our residents and our community to accomplish those goals.
Well, we would not be here without your ambassadorship. So thank you for the City of Mission Viejo, and thank you for the Mayor, Trish Kelly, and also Scott Davis, the new race director, OC Tri-Series. We're going to do this and more. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys did a great job. Trish, good to see you again. Got to do this more often. We'll be back with more of the OC Tri-Series. We're going to talk to the winner. He won last year. We'll repeat that conversation again. We'll be back with more after this. Hello everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner here at Lake Mission Viejo OC Tri-Series. We have our winner once again, Chris Berg, who returns to Lake Mission Viejo, and back-to-back champions. So back-to-back champion, we congratulate him on that. Also in third place today for the Elite Division, also joining us, teammate, and this is Luke Walton. So we welcome you guys to Coach's Corner. Welcome back. No surprise that you won this thing. Tell me, how different is it this year than last year?
I thought things went a little quicker this year than last year. A little quicker on the swim. Had company on the swim and Cam Hill, who came in, finished strong, and he kept the pressure on the bike. He was ahead of me on the bike, so I had to ride honest, couldn't take a break.
Yeah.
And then fortunately enough, I had good legs on the run early on, and I was able to get in front and just keep the hammer down and all the way through the line. So it came together for a good day.
Oh, real nice day for you, man. Congratulations on that, Luke, getting third. Now, this morning when you got here, obviously you got here early. It was overcast, maybe a little chilly. Getting in the water. Tell me about getting in the water and swimming. The fog was lifting up. Pretty ideal conditions, though.
Really ideal conditions, except for the fog.
Yeah.
But when you have someone like Chris, who swims faster than you don't have to worry about where the buoys are. You just have to follow Chris down the course. So that worked out. I don't know what it was like for him leading the swim. Being in the lead pack, I'm sure they were popping their heads up trying to figure it out, but we're just looking at feet. So it was actually a pretty nice swim for us.
And tell me about when you got on the course, the transition from the swim to the bike and then the bike to the run. What do you enjoy most out of this race?
I think this race is unique in the sense that it becomes technical and it's hilly, both on the bike and the run. So you need fitness. You can't just fake it and get into a rhythm. You really have to work through a lot of these sections and to hold your rhythm on both the bike and the run. Training with Chris down in San Diego all the time, I knew he was ready for this because I've been chasing him around for a long time now. So not very surprising to me that Chris ran as well as he did today.
Yeah, and you mentioned training, so I want to mention this. You've got part of the Nitro men's team that you are, and of course Breakaway Training is the guys that actually back you. Tell me about that relationship so I get that right.
Breakaway Training is a training group for multi-sport and endurance sports down in San Diego, founded by Felipe Lerrero, who's out in Italy riding some Gran Fondo up some mountain. But Luke and I are two of the other coaches, and then our fourth coach is Adam Sheps, who is nursing a broken collarbone, just had some work done, so he wasn't able to race with us today, but he'll be back soon. But
I'm guessing that might have happened on a bike, maybe?
Yeah, he had a plate in. He wasn't very happy with how it was affecting his swimming, so he got that taken out finally.
That's crazy. Now, why is the scene so good in San Diego? I mean, it's such a San Diego County, so many great triathletes, cross trainers down there. Why is that?
I'd say, we've got everything. You want to be in the mountains, you can be in the mountains. You want to be at the beach and the ocean, you can be there. It doesn't take that long to get to high desert or desert either. So you can train in the heat, you can train in the cold, you can train in the ocean, and it's ideal. It's Southern California in general is really active. Luke can tell you he's been active his whole life. He grew up down in San Diego. I just moved out there for college and decided to stay, but
not a bad choice.
When the weather's like this every day, it's kind of hard to sit behind a desk.
It's amazing. Now, Luke, your thoughts. We filmed a lot of the age groupers coming across the finish line and a lot of these guys that wish they could be as fast and as strong as you guys are. What does it take for an individual like that to get to where you guys are at in the Elite Division, finishing in the top 5?
Well, it really just takes training, and it takes committing to your training program. I'll be biased in saying it takes good coaching, so, and that's what we implement. So following a training program, having guidance and committing to it. And we've seen so many guys and girls go through the ranks and improve systematically over the years and start out just sort of, okay, this is new and I'm trying it out, and really working into the elite and even pro ranks. So those stories are actually not as uncommon as you would think.
And Chris, what is your best asset? I know Luke already mentioned you're a fabulous swimmer. You have 2 other disciplines after that. Which one do you like? Which one do you prefer?
As of late, my running's really come on, but at the elite level of triathlon, there are guys who excel at one thing, or maybe specifically Luke and I both come from swimming backgrounds, but as you get up, you can't really have a weakness. You have to kind of put together a good race in all 3 disciplines. You can't make mistakes. You have to race smart. You have to be mentally engaged in the race. And I'd say that's probably where I excel most, is just being aware of my output and my effort and what it's going to take. And, I'm kind of like a miser. I want to be broke precisely when I'm no longer going to need any money. So if I have no energy the second I cross the line, then I've spent my energies in the right way.
That's fantastic. Real quickly from you, Luke, advice also, here I am asking you guys for advice. Maybe I want to do this someday, right? I interview thousands of athletes, and it's always phenomenal to me to meet guys like you that do this on a constant daily basis. Does it ever get tiring? Do you ever go, you know what, I'm just not going to do this today. I'm not going to do it this week. I'm going to take a month off. Do you ever get to that point, or is it always on?
I mean, everybody has days or even weeks, sometimes months, where it's just not really going your way. But, you know, just persevering and getting out there and being consistent gets you through it. And as Chris said, I mean, with weather like this, a venue like this, it's hard to really get to a point where you think, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I mean, it's great. And it's days like this with all the people here and the racing conditions and the venue where you're reminded of why it is that you're getting out there and doing the training. But one of the things that we feel helps the most is a group. You know, it is an individual sport, and we are all trying to do our best individually, but finding a solid training group is so vitally important to the process. I mean, we have a lot of fun, you know, swimming, biking, and running together. We're always talking trash. We're always trying to one-up one another. I mean, it's just, there's fun to it. We work really, really hard, but we enjoy what we're doing as well.
Obviously you do. You got first, Chris Berg got first, and of course Luke Walton getting third in the elite men's division. We congratulate you. Guys, thank you for joining me on the show. It's always great to see you. I'm sure we'll see you again next year. Yeah. And of course, we've got more to come right here on Coach's Corner on this fabulous day in the city of Mission Viejo. We'll be back with more right after this. Hello everybody, welcome back to this edition of Coach's Corner. As you can tell, it is a fabulous day here in the city of Mission Viejo, and we have two great guests joining us. Now on board with us here on Coach's Corner, on top of our deck here on the backdrop of the lake, is our winner of the Elite Women, and this is none other than Miranda Tomlinson. And Miranda comes all the way down from Toronto, Canada to win this race. The reason she is here, the gentleman sitting next to her right now is Don McDonald from One Capital Management. He started that firm back around 9/11 when that happened, and he grew it up to be a great firm, presenting sponsor. So we welcome you to Coach's Corner. And Miranda, congratulations. I just heard we have a lot of great footage of you, so that's fantastic.
Good. Well, I was biking hard out there and the cameras were following me, so it was a little surreal, but.
Did you feel coming down to this race that you would win it?
You know what, I was injured all winter, so I wasn't sure how I would fare, but my training's really ramped up in the past couple weeks. So I felt strong coming into the race. Very different climate from Canada, so I had to deal with that, and the terrain's much different, but I wasn't expecting to do so well, but I'm happy with how I did.
And you know, One Capital Management had nothing to do with it. They didn't pay anybody off, they didn't manage anybody's money this way or that way.
Other than get me down here.
Don, tell me about that. How cool is that to fly her down here, presenting sponsor, she wins the event?
Imagine that.
If everything could go that smooth, right? Tell me, why did you pick Miranda and the involvement with One Capital?
Well, Miranda's father is a good friend of ours and our firm's, and probably 4 or 5 years ago, he was telling me that Miranda was getting into triathlons in a serious way, and I've been involved with this sport back since the early 80s. Raced in Hawaii, Kona back in '83 and so forth, and I just love the sport. And when he told me that, I thought, well, you know, we'll just keep an eye on this. And not long ago, when Scott Davis took over the race directorship, Scott and Brian Ogle and their lovely wives, they asked us if we would be interested in getting involved as a corporate sponsor of the event. And I said yes, and then immediately thought, you know, we want to build some awareness around this. And I was talking to Miranda's father, and he thinks she would want to come down. Can we contact her? And so one thing led to another. And we also have a couple of other athletes here. The winner of the 50-plus age group, which was very competitive today, is also a good friend of mine, Larry O'Shea. And, you know, we believe in the sport.
I have to tell you, being very modest, because he didn't tell you he raced in today's event. And also going back to 1983, was it 83 or 84? It was 84, second in the Canadian Ironman. And also, of course, he went to Kona in 83. You're a very modest gentleman being here. And,
Well, what's funny is I quit the sport for 23 years and then got drawn back into it. It's such a, you can't, once you're in, you can never get away from this thing.
See here, are you listening?
Yep, oh, I am.
So Miranda, your thoughts about this particular race, because it is a challenging course. I mean, of course, the Olympics were here in 1984. The bike race, obviously, there's parts of that the Olympians rode on. That's got to feel kind of cool. But how was the course? How challenging was it for you?
It was really good. It was a mix of technical and hilly. I get a little scared on the technical parts, but the road being really smooth, I think it suited my strengths a little bit because just because it was nice out and back and not too many turns and all that stuff. So I really enjoyed riding on the course.
What is your future in this sport? If you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
I'm 28.
28. You don't look 28 years old, which is a great thing. But you're right now 28 years old is a perfect time to be a triathlete in your career. Do you take it to another level?
Well, so right now in the professional ranks, I typically race the Ironman 70.3 series. I'm typically the youngest one out there, so I definitely look up to girls who have been doing the sport and they're in their mid-30s and they're reaching their peak. So I do want to get there eventually. Right. So it really helps to have the sponsors on board, like One Capital, Turner Tomlinson also sponsors me, and Raymond James Financial up in Canada. So without those sponsors, I wouldn't be able to get anywhere in the sport. So
well, if you weren't there, I produced the TV show for the Puerto Rico Ironman 70.3. You need to go to that race. It's a great family race. I would love to see you there. You would do fantastic in that race.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to get those people and invite you down there. You got to come with us.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic race. And your thoughts? I know One Capital being part of this. How much more involvement do you want to be in triathletes? It's a great demographic.
It's a great demographic. We're new in this kind of thing. We think that collaborating with Scott and Brian is a great entry. This race in particular, Mission Viejo, we need to get our feet wet first, but I'm passionate about the sport, and I think when you're passionate about something, you know that more is going to come.
No doubt about it. And before I let you go, Miranda, what advice do you have to the young girls? We had some girls that started out this morning out here that were 8, 9, 10 years old, and another age grouper over there on the stand that started out. For those young athletes, what do you recommend if they want to get involved in a triathlon series?
Just, you know, I would definitely say have fun with the sport initially, learn to love it, and then once you love it, build up the consistency, and that's easy when you're doing something that you love, and don't give up. There's always ups and downs and injuries, but just staying motivated and falling in love with the sport is very important.
Congratulations once again for winning today. That's fantastic,
so
coming down from Toronto. And thank you to One Capital Management for coming down and sponsoring and bringing athletes like Miranda to a race like this, a truly international race right here in your backyard in the city of Mission Viejo. For all of our athletes, for our race director, for our sponsors, for our Mission Viejo Mayor, Trish Kelly, I'm Paul Higgins. Thank you so much for watching Coach's Corner. We'll see you next time.